Shop the Sherwin-Williams Labor Day sale and get 35% off paints and stains August 22nd through September 4th. With prices starting at $31.84, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Something Was Wrong is intended for mature audiences. It discusses topics that can be upsetting and triggering, such as emotional, physical, and sexual violence, suicide, child abuse, and murder. Content warnings for each episode are at the top of episode notes. And confidential and free resources for survivors can be found linked in our episode notes, as well as on our website, somethingwaswrong.com/resources. Some survivor names have been changed for anonymity purposes. Testimony shared by guests on the show is their own and does not necessarily reflect the views of myself, Something Was Wrong, Broken Cycle Media, or Wondery. The podcast and any linked materials should not be construed as medical advice, nor is any of the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. Thank you so much for listening.
You think you know me, you don't know me well at all, at all. You don't know anybody till you talk to someone.
Hi, I'm Chris Williams. I am an actor. I am an adventurer. I'm a traveler. I'm known for Curb Your Enthusiasm, Crazy Eyes Killer, movie Dodgeball, Silicon Valley, and a bunch of other stuff. I've been acting for 30 years. I'm originally from New York. I've been here temporarily for 34 years. I consider myself a secondary citizen, even though I live here, but I'm not from here. I came out here for the business, for the entertainment business, film and TV, and this was the place to be. My parents are both music teachers. My sister is Vanessa Williams, so she's a famous singer-actress. I was going to go to law school after college, but I'm not a lawyer. All my friends are going to be business people and doctors and lawyers, and I didn't start acting professionally until I was 25, so I even started late. But I was going to be I was in the record industry for a while doing A&R, which is like music scouting, finding new groups around the time of Tony. I had Vanilla Ice's demo tape, Brian McKnight, around that era. And then I did a play because I wanted to get back to acting. And they were like, well, are you going to do this or not? But as an actor, you got to start somewhere. So I decided that if I was going to do it, I was going to invest like it was my grad school. For 6 to 7 years, as long as I saw forward progress, I would fund my acting career with credit cards. I had 10 credit cards. And over the course of 7 years, I accumulated about $55,000 worth of debt. I was paying this one with this one and paying this one with that one and essentially burning $5,000 to $6,000 a year in interest charges. But as long as I kept working, I could eventually pay it off. It was hard. I have video of myself, like a little video diary with my little camcorder before there was iPhones and stuff. I used to talk about the day and how much of a struggle it was to pursue this dream, being completely broke and trying to date completely broke too, which is a really tough thing. You have to find some creative ways to date when you have no money, like the Getty Museum in Malibu, free picnic. And then I got a TV series called Hype on the Warner Brothers Network, and we did 17 episodes, and I knocked my whole debt out in one fell swoop. I am a big foodie. I like to bake and eat different things. I'm a big gardener. I have about 45 orchids that I'm a little obsessed with. Now, if Costco had orchids, it'd be over. I'd spend all my money in Costco. I love my orchids. I like flowers. I just like beautiful things and beautiful food. Just like beauty in general. Single, never married, and no kids. I'm very old school. I like to open the doors, walking on the outside of the thing. I think that's important. Whoever asks the person out should pay for the date. If a woman asks you out, even if they're going to pay for the date, you should at least offer to pay for the date, if not insist on paying for the date. But if you ask a woman out on a date, you should be paying for the date and hope that they at least reach for or offer to help pay for it, just as a sign of courtesy. I dated a woman several times and paid for the dates all the time, and there was never a mention of, next time I'll take you, or let me get this one for you. And that really bothered me, and I stopped dating her because of that. That shows a little bit of respect for someone else. Courtship is one thing, but respect for someone else. And we went on 4 or 5 dates. I just wanted to reach. I just wanted someone to be like, no, it's okay. She never even reached, and I was waiting for the reach. The last time, I even left it there just to see if she would be like, do you want me to get this one? The things that I've learned for a healthy relationship is, for me, I need to feel acknowledged. I need to feel that even if you don't agree with what I say, you're acknowledging what I'm saying. Putting yourself into someone else's shoes really helps. Even if you don't agree with them, at least saying, let me see where you're coming from in this. In a relationship, if I can't understand where you're coming from, or you don't have an explanation for me that's clear to me, that's frustrating. That to me is a big thing. I do ask for a lot, but I don't think I ask for too much. I want a relationship to be easy and simple, and that's not easy to do. One of the hardest things about dating in LA, I would say, is being accepted for who you are and not what you have. I may have a nice house, but I drive a pickup truck and a Vespa. If you can like me in my pickup truck, then we're good to go. I've had lots of adventures dating, and this is one of the ones that stuck out. I just couldn't believe it. So here we are.
First of all, thank you. I'm such a huge fan of yours. We could start with how you and Amy know each other, because that would probably help the listeners understand how we got here.
We met through a mutual friend on Instagram, and we started following each other, and yeah.
I remember her telling me the story, and I was like, wait, what? It's definitely a cautionary tale, which we tell a lot of on the show. I love that you're willing to do this, because we don't get a lot of submissions from men, even though I know that they go through things on dating apps and deal with romance scams, the same things that women do. I think a good place to start would be where you were at in life.
It was fall of 2021. I was on Hinge. My friend had told me to get on Hinge to start dating. When I initially went on the apps, I wasn't exactly sure what I was looking for. I don't have a job that takes me to the same place all the time where I can meet people. After pandemic, how are you going to meet people, really? So I decided to get on the apps and to see what would be interesting to me. So there wasn't any specific goal. I was open to anything. I don't really have a type. It's all a vibe and it's all a connection. I like personality. I'm attracted to how people think.
Is it hard to date as a celebrity on dating apps?
I don't think I'm a celebrity to a certain extent. Every now and then I'll have people, they'll look at me and recognize me on a dating app. Maybe they just don't say it, but most people don't. I was dating and I actually took a break from it for a while when I met this person. We corresponded over Hinge and then texting, you go to the next level. She seemed really nice. She had like 4 or 5 kids. She was divorced. She was attractive. She said she was in investments, I think Bitcoin and that kind of stuff. And we talked back and forth. I think it took maybe a couple of weeks to coordinate. And then around the time of my birthday, she's like, I'd love to take you to dinner, wherever you want to go. My birthday is November 2nd. I'm a double Scorpio, Virgo rising. If anyone knows what that is, it's just a lot of Scorpio. She was gracious enough to say, let me take you out for your birthday, wherever you want to go. So I was like, I want to go to Odeum, which is my favorite restaurant downtown. It's so delicious. So I was like, great. And that was a nice foray into dating this woman, because if she's willing to take me to my favorite restaurant, why not? So she started off really, really good. She pulled up. She drove a really nice car. I think it was a Tesla. We went to dinner and we had a really nice dinner. Great conversation. We talked back and forth and it was not awkward, really. It was nice. We just hit all the basic points of like, where are you from? What do you like to do? She lived in Hawaii for a while. Thought that was interesting. She talked about her kids. I talked about being an actor. We had a really nice conversation. There was no real lulls. We got along really well. I don't know how much of a sexual connection there was, but we liked each other. There was nothing more to it. It was just two people having dinner. I liked her. We didn't kiss or anything at that date. I liked who she was. I got along with her. Just a really nice birthday dinner. It was just a nice interaction. And then I put a kibosh on it and just said, we're going to be friends. I didn't think it was something that I really wanted to pursue because the holidays were coming up. From November to January is always a tough time in general for me, just because it's my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's all like a stressful time. We talked a little bit more, and then I was like, let me just not talk for a while. We kept in touch a little bit through November and December. In December, she said, Merry Christmas, hope Santa gave you everything you wanted. Then January, I sent her a Happy New Year's text. She said, Happy New Year. February, I was going to one of my best friends, Maz Jobrani, who's a comedian. It was his 50th birthday party up in Napa. So it was a big trip to go away. I had asked someone else to go with me and they pulled out at the last minute. And I was like, okay. And then out of the blue, she hit me up in February. She just checked in with me and said, hey, Chris, hope that you're doing well and life is good. I decided to do industry work and some damn jobs are sketchy as fuck. She's not trying to be an actress. She's just like, it's fun. It's Hollywood. I have nothing else to do. And I was like, hey there, so funny, I was just thinking about you. I said, I'm good, what about you? I said, are you in Hawaii? Because she was in Hawaii. I was like, or here. She's like, here in LA. I said, here's my orchid bathroom. She said, orchids are like women, beautiful and hard to maintain. She said, are you free for dinner? Want to catch up? I said, terrific. We can do casual. The way Napa came up was we kept talking about having that dinner. I said, do you have any dietary restrictions to have this quick casual meal? She said, anything but Chinese. It'll be great to see you, catch up. Is it tomorrow better? Either works. I'm like, I'm headed to Napa tomorrow. I said, you're welcome to come, going solo. Oh, so tempting. I was like, I'd be a perfect gentleman. It's a great group of people. She's like, send me info. I may actually take you up on that. I don't mind paying my share. I'm like, great. I love that. She's like, let me ask my kids. And, I'd love to. And I was like, if you want to get a separate room, I wasn't trying to like stay with me, but just to have someone I've already met, I already have a connection with, and have a companion and just have fun for the weekend in Napa. I remember our interaction was really nice and we had a good time, so why not entertain maybe going someplace together? I'm like, this is my flight. This is when I'm leaving. We're all going as a group on this one flight. We all had a caravan going from Burbank all the way to Napa. She's like, sounds like a blast. I'm in. I said, yes, I'm booking my flight. Yippee, I'm excited. We'll send my flight deets. Chris, what hotel did you book? Gave her the hotel. You're welcome to stay with me and I can get 2 queen beds if you like. I just want you to feel comfortable. That's awesome and I appreciate it. Need to provide all detail to my boys. Her kids. Perfect. They are proactive. I'm happy right now. I totally understand. I said, they can have my number as well and let them know I'll take care of you. She's like, I will. Remember, one is a crazy fan of dodgeball. So that helps. He watched it 25 times when he was little. After I book my flight, I'm going to ask about clothes, although I have some dresses in mind to wear and you can say yay or nay. We'll also be bringing jeans or I have dress here. I sent her the invite. It says cocktail. She said, perfect, just what I needed, thank you. I'm definitely attending. I got the green light. Thank you for inviting me. Funny how things work. She's like, I got my flight. I said, you're coming back earlier? She's going to do this job. I purchased a flexible time. If I want to change, I can change my flight time the same day if needed. Good to have that option. So look, meet us at so-and-so and then we'll coordinate. Everything was on board. She had gotten her own room. She was going to meet us at the airport and then fly up there and then drive with us to Napa, to where the party was. She said she had to leave a day early, which was that Sunday morning as opposed to Monday. She was going to get her own transportation back and fly out early because she had some work to do or something along those lines. As I said, I had that one dinner with her before and it was a really nice, pleasant dinner. No real red flags. I enjoyed spending time with her. It would have been really interesting to see who she was on a trip around my friends and this and the other, but she seemed like she could handle herself and she seemed like a fun person. It was leading up to the thing. I was making sure everything was okay for her flight tomorrow. We were supposed to have dinner just to reacquaint ourselves with each other. Something quick, but something came up with her that she could not do it, but she still was going to come on the trip. She's apologized for it. I was like, no problem. I'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a fun weekend. Lots to finish, so I have no worries for tomorrow. Hope you're well. And that's it. And then the next day, she was going to meet us. My friends are very open to her coming or anybody coming because everyone was going to be coupled up as it was. They knew I could have maybe a +1, but may not be a +1. I told them right before we were going that was going to be the situation. She'll text when she's on the way to the airport. She's like, won't get to the flight on time. I'm going to be late. I'm not going to be able to make the flight. I'm like, do you want me to wait and take the later flight with you or land and wait and then go up to Napa with you? And she's like, I'll get a car. I won't get there in time. She was at the airport and got there too late to board our flight. That's what happened. And I was like, you make it? Just landing now. Are you sure you don't want me to wait? I'd gladly do it. She's like, I'm here at the airport. I can't check in. Security sent me back the ticketing. I'm like, fuck. And she's sending me a picture of her at the airport. Can you use the kiosk? I tried. Don't worry. I will get a car. Please don't wait. Okay. They think I'll have to go to LAX. This is crazy. She's going to fly out of LAX now because there was a couple flights, Burbank to Napa. And I was getting worried. She's like, I will get a car. Please don't wait. Don't worry. I'm on my way. Then sends a picture of her bag and her jacket on the bag. So she sends me a text. I'm getting an Uber to LAX to get the flight. She's getting in the Uber and she says there was a different car than what she was being picked up in her Uber. And she says, why a different car? And he says, my car was a lemon. I just got this car. Uber is still updating my car. It says 3 days. I don't want to wait those 3 days and miss work, basically.
What time did she send that second screenshot?
Those are at 2:40. I'm like, that's a weird thing. Why do you have a different car for your Uber? Why would you get in a car that is different from a car than Uber? She also said, please don't wait. I'm not sure why he's driving so slow. So I couldn't understand what was going on. And that was it. So now I'm on extra alert. I knew she would be coming or that everything seemed to be fine. She sent me a picture of her with her mask on, ready to leave. She sent me a picture of her bag, her suitcase. She sent me a picture of the airport itself when she had missed her first flight. And then she sent me a screenshot of the conversation with her and the nefarious Uber driver. So I was pretty much up to date with texts as well as photos that she was coming. And I would have given myself a 95% sure that she was coming. Now I'm in Napa waiting to see what she's doing. At 4:45, I said, how you doing? I said, I just landed. Is everything okay? I'm getting to the hotel. Now I'm waiting for her at the hotel. There was a party at 7, but whatever, I'll just wait. So at 6 o'clock, I'm feeling a little bit jiggity. I don't know exactly what's going on. I've checked in the room. Everyone's like, we're going to meet to go at 7 for a pre-party to a bar before the dinner. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I should go. She's not here yet, but she's coming. At 6:26, I said, I'm worried. Please text me back. You sent me everything. You said you're coming. And then nothing. So at 7 o'clock, I go to the first party. I'm talking to all the wives. There's like 5 wives. We're just at the bar and we're drinking and the ladies are sitting there like, well, where's your friend? Well, who is she? I'm like, oh, it's just someone I've met once and I don't really know that well. And I was like, I got this text. I'm getting a little worried. Now all the women are like, oh, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You need to call police, make sure she's okay. I don't want to be that dude of like, something's wrong. I know something's wrong. I don't want to overreact. 8:26, I said, I'm worried. 9:26, I said, are you okay? Please text me back. I'm worried about this person that I feel responsible for inviting up here and protective of, and I don't know what's going on. I get this last text of just, I'm getting in an Uber, and it's a different car.
Which is the number one thing they tell you not to do, is
Right.
get in the Uber that doesn't match the plate.
So now I'm like, fuck. Now everyone's partying. Now we're at dinner and I'm like, I got to get up and now I'm like, I can't even relax because everyone's having a good time. Now everyone's laughing about you. Oh, she just ghosted you. She just wanted to come. I'm like, I never got the feeling of this is not a good idea. All the women were like, you got to call the police. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got to call the police. I call Burbank police and they're like, okay, what do I do? Who is this? And I'm trying to explain, I have a friend, I'm in her hand, it's time to get in, I'm going to go, it's weird. And they're like, okay, well, that's not us. You have to call Burbank Airport Security because that's who that jurisdiction is. I was like, okay. So I called Burbank Airport Security. What can I help you with? Let me explain. Well, do you know this woman? I'm like, I went on a date with her and I don't really know her, but I figured. And when the police officer asked me if she had made it to LAX, I said I didn't know because she had gotten into the car and I never heard from her again. He's even going, oh, did she make it to Burbank? And I'm being like, no, she never got here. Oh, then you sure she didn't get there? I'm like, I don't have any record of her getting there. She's not at the hotel. Well, did she ask you for money? I'm like, no, it wasn't even like that. Well, how do you know her? Who are you? Send me your driver's license to verify that you're a real person. and then start telling me what's going on. I'm going to cooperate because I'm curious on what's going on. At 9:30, he said, send me all this stuff. So I sent any pictures that I have of her, any other images of her. This one does not show much. I talked to him for a while, and then they assign we'll look into it. So they're going to wait to call me back. He said, thank you, Chris. Let me do some quick work, and I'll get back to you with this case number. Please be patient because I'll need to review video surveillance. And that was at 9:44. I send her a text at 9:58 that night when I'm just speaking to the cop. The last thing I sent to her is, I called the police and filed a report. It's green.
She didn't read it, so she blocked you?
She blocked you.
She either blocked me or
Her phone's off.
Her phone is off and dead, and
Died.
she's.
Or on a plane. That's the only other time it goes green.
There's many
It says
reasons
sent as
to worry.
text message, so it went through. Now I wait all night. Now I'm not the butt of jokes, but everyone's like, "Oh, Chris got fucking ghosted." Maybe she doesn't really want to see you, or I'm like, whatever. So we have dinner. I go back to the hotel and I'm waiting. The officer, he said, Chris, do you have an email from her? Also, what was her screen name on Hinge? Also, what was her name? And I sent it. And he's like, did she ever ask for money? What is your relationship with her again? I didn't know her last name at the time. I'm like, well, this is what I have. I said, I don't have an email. And she's no longer on Hinge, but her name was, I found some things. I even found her son. I found her old wedding registry from her and her ex-husband. I've never been to her house. I don't know her address. I don't know much about her except for her name and pictures. We went on one date. So trying to explain that to the police officer, he's kind of like, that's all I got. And now it's waiting. I'm waiting. And then at 3 a.m, thank you. We're still working on this case. And I'm still up. I just don't know what's going on. I finally get a text from him. I was like, anything from surveillance? That was at 3:41 because he said he was checking surveillance. And now I'm up all night. He goes, she definitely was here and got into a vehicle at the rideshare island, still working on it.
So the Uber thing was real.
She got in a car.
We
Right.
just don't know where it was headed.
I said, thank you for your diligence. So I go to sleep. Now this is 8:30 in the morning. I wake up. I'm seriously scared because now I'm like, am I responsible for something that happened?
So instead of just being like, I'm okay, thank you for your concern, anything. Anything.
Nothing. So I get a text on the 26th at 5 o'clock. This is the cop. We have located her and she's at home in good health. Because she is an adult, I cannot release any additional information about her. It is up to her to reach out to you. There should be more people like you who share genuine concern for the well-being of others. Let me know if you have any additional questions not related to her personal information. I called him and I talked to him. He's like, they would have gone over to her house and check on her well-being at 4 or 5 in the morning and knock on the door because they have her address now. She's okay, I guess.
So 48 hours of worry almost.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Why?
So I say back to the cop, hey, officer, I appreciate your hard work and fast response to whatever questions I had on the work you had to do. You should be commended for your execution and attention. And I still have not heard from her. It is absolutely bizarre. I don't plan on ever speaking to her again, so I'll never know the reason why, which has me and everyone baffled. You would think that if a police contacts you and your whereabouts, you let the person know you're either okay or to fuck off, but silence is ridiculous. There was absolutely no indication that she did not want to come with all the reservations and arrangements. People are nuts. I guess I dodged a bullet. He sends me back a text. I agree with you, Chris. It was nice to meet you. I said, and the strangest thing is, I still haven't heard a peep since all those pics in the Uber were sent to me. I bet she was married and was trying to cheat. That's my guess. He says, I think you said it well in the previous email. You dodged a bullet. She was not married, though. Addendum. As I land in Burbank Airport, I went out and sought out the police officer that helped me. And I said, is Officer so-and-so here? And they're like, he's down there. So I get down there. He's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I just want to say you helped me with so-and-so. He's like, oh, okay. But at least I was like, got a
that's
chance
nice,
to
though.
thank him for,
Yeah.
for taking the time to do it.
And that was the guy who was making the calls and doing the work
emails
in the
and
middle
such.
of the night and
Yeah.
all that. We saw each other almost the next day or like right after. And you told me this story. You seemed distressed. Like it was stressful.
I would feel worried.
That's crazy. Still don't know. So there's always this little thing in the back of my head going,
Right.
why?
But why?
But why? I started doing a little research on her. She wrote a blog. She was in a really contentious divorce at that time. She wrote a whole thing talking about he's been lying to her. They got divorced in 2021. This is 3/21/21. So airing all of his stuff. And then all the petition for
she's got the court docs.
She has everything.
Confirmed that she was divorced. Like 100%
She was divorced,
confirmed.
but still in like
dealing with his shit because they have kids.
No,
they
don't have kids. This is a second marriage for her or something like that. So I don't know. But all her divorce stuff is in here. Of all of her personal property furnishings, all of their shit is out here.
How much of her background had she shared?
She talked about her kids and how she loves being with her kids, and she was divorced. And
did she talk that it was contentious at all, or no?
No, nothing. Nothing with red flags. Like, oh, that's probably what was. And that's why I was thought maybe she was married and was like got caught. Mm-hmm. You know, he caught me going to Napa for the weekend.
The most egregious is leaving it where she left it. To never close the loop. How long has it been? A year and a half now? To never follow up. No point has she had access to be like, hey, Chris, I'm really sorry that I made you worried. And
if the police contact you, come to your house, someone is worried about your whereabouts, and enough for the police to come to your door and check on your health or your well-being. Are you okay? Police showed up at your door and ask you, are you okay? And you still not even apologize, just respond. Nothing. 3 words. You would think. I just don't get it.
What would you do if you ran into her at Trader Joe's?
I'd be like, why? I'm always curious, just why? I was responsible. I felt responsible for inviting this.
You were emotionally distressed over this. Yeah.
Saying that I'm calling the police, I could have been like, oh, fuck it, I don't give a shit about you. Right. She ain't coming. All right, I guess she goes for me. I never did anything to you that would make you go, oh, that he's an asshole. Right. And if you didn't want to come, then don't go through all the pictures, flight arrangements. It's okay.
Just say, I'm sorry something came up. It takes nothing to do that.
Anything. Sorry. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Right.
Hate you.
Getting that sorry, you don't know if it's authentic. Oof. However, what I would want is a thank you.
Thank you for worrying about me.
And taking those steps. Do you think she had intention to come, or do you think it was relatively manipulative from the get-go?
She bought a flight and showed me the Uber she's getting into. But why would you go through all of that for why?
I know.
I mean, I'm going to show him. Why show me a picture of you at the airport?
Well, ghosting in general is such a dumb move, honestly. And that's something I tell Amy all the time. She's very upfront with people. And I often tell her, I really admire how she breaks up with people. She'll just be very upfront and be like, I wasn't feeling the connection. Thank you so much for dinner. If you're emotionally available enough to go on a date, you can be adult enough to end a relationship. Why be a shitty person when you could just send a text?
It's possible to just say, no, thank you.
It's the kind thing to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I wonder if she'll hear this.
She might. LA's our #1 listening city. Should we call her? Hey, you blocked Chris. We just want to know, why'd you ghost him? I'm just kidding. Have you had good dating experiences since? On dating, have you returned to the apps? Did it keep you from the apps?
No. I got on the app. Yeah.
How do you feel going back into the dating pool? I feel like you could.
But I take things on an individual basis, though. Mm-hmm. You can't judge everyone.
What would your best advice be to someone who is new to dating apps?
If you're on a dating app, you should try to put your best foot forward, but be real on who you are, because eventually they're going to see you anyway. If you say you're 6 feet and you're actually 5'9", they're going to see that eventually. So why lie early on? Just say what you are. You might as well be upfront with who you are and what you want. You also have to look at what they say sometimes and how they're saying it. Something else besides how they look. Try to think about if that's someone you want to be involved with. Interests, hobbies, dating etiquette. If you're thinking about ghosting someone, there's really no reason to ghost someone. Just say, I'm not interested. Ghosting and never talking again is not going to be respectful as well as kind, because the person, especially if they liked you, is always going to be wondering, where did they go? So my words of advice for someone who just got ghosted would be like, fuck that. No, it would be, it's not you, it's them. I know that sounds ridiculous or played out, but it really is not you. If they can't have the respect and courtesy to let you know they're not interested anymore, then you didn't want to be with them in the first place, even if they were everything that you wanted. But you don't need them.
We always like to ask, is there anything else that you want to share or that you think would be important?
I'm very trusting as it is, and probably too trusting of people. Even the fact that I hadn't vetted her maybe enough before I invited her away on a vacation or a trip, even if she's paying for everything, not really knowing who she is before, that's being trusting. You got to be at least a little bit more aware of random trust as opposed to specific earned trust. Just be careful out there. And don't let it stop you from being concerned about other people. Just because one person acted in a weird way, it's not going to make me stop caring about someone. You can't let that stop you.
Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at chris.williams_. I also have a travel page because I just went to my 52nd country, San Marino, which is a really small country in Italy that I was obsessed with going to just because I don't know anyone who's ever gone to San Marino. And it's at The Adventures of CW at Instagram. A trip always serves me deeply, period. When a relationship ends, it definitely helps getting out of your space and into some new space. So when you come back, you have a little bit of a refreshed attitude about where you are and who you are.
Well, thank you again so much.
Thanks for having me.
This is so cool. And thank you, Amy, for connecting us. Next time on Something Was Wrong.
I met Archie online. I don't know who followed who first, but at some point I realized that we were following each other and that he was interacting with my stuff. He'd comment on tattoos that I did and be like, wow, this is amazing. This is like a pretty big name artist in the industry that's liking my stuff. This is really cool. I was a little guy in a big pond, so getting that validation from a much bigger name artist was really flattering and exciting. Within a few months of working there, just the red flags alone, the really early ones, and I had told Danielle, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be working here all that long.
Hi, this is Amy B. Chesler of the Broken Cycle Media team. I wanted to take a moment to remind you to head to What Came Next on your preferred podcast platform for Part 1 and Part 2 of Something Was Wrong Season 14 updates with Tiffany, as well as 2 of the ladies from Season 14, Kaylin and Melissa. Don't forget to follow What Came Next to hear future Something Was Wrong updates and from other powerful victims and advocates. Thank you so much for listening.
Until next time, stay safe, friends. Something Was Wrong is a Broken Cycle Media production, created and hosted by me, Tiffany Reese. If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow Something Was Wrong on Instagram at Something Was Wrong Podcast. Our theme song was composed by Glad Rags. Check out their album, Wonder Under. Thank you so much.